الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بفضل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الذي هدانا لهذا وما كنا لنهتدي لولا أن هدانا الله ثم الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين الذي سمي في السماء بأحمد وفي الأراضين بأبي القاسم المصطفى محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعلى أهل بيته الذين أذهب الله عنهم الرجس وطهرهم تطهيرا. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في قرآن المجيد: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، هن لباس لكم وأنتم لباس لهن، آمنا بالله صدق الله العلي العظيم. Once again, we thank Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us this opportunity tonight, being the eve of a Eid. And of course, to some, today is the day of a Eid. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the opportunities to seek nearness to Him during the holy month of Ramadan. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to accept our a'mal and make it easy for each and every one of us after the holy month of Ramadan. And Eid Mubarak to all those who are observing Eid today, and of course in advance to those who are observing tomorrow, inshallah. Brothers and sisters, the verse I've just quoted from glorious Quran is part of a long verse rather. It is Quran 2 verse 187. This ayah no doubt discusses the holy month of Ramadan or fasting. And then in between, Allah discusses the relationship between a husband and wife. And Allah says, Hunna libasul lakum wa antum libasul lahunna. They are your garments and you are their garments. I have no doubt we all came across this verse several times. And so departing from this beautiful part of this ayah, my topic of discussion tonight, in the last night of our series of lectures during this holy month of Ramadan, is to look at marital relationship during COVID-19, challenges and opportunities. And the examination will be of the following stages. Number one stage is to look at some of the challenges that families go through or may go through during this COVID-19 or during this lockdown or social distancing. And then the second stage of the examination is to look at some of the opportunities that we have during this lockdown or COVID-19. And then inshallah, at the end, which is the last stage of my examination, I will look at Quran, traditions of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salatu wassalam, on how to navigate through as families, as husbands and wives during this very, very important moment or challenging. And then inshallah, we'll conclude by shedding a light on the importance of Eid and how we should conduct ourselves on the day of Eid. No doubt, the world is still faced with the challenge of coronavirus. Many countries across the globe, majority, are still in the lockdown. People are not allowed to go out unnecessarily, unless, of course, something essential, as we all know. Families are all in their houses 24/7. They are together. When before the lockdown or before the challenge of Corona, some would go to work and come back late. Children would go to school and come back late. And so this definitely will come with some challenges. But as you know, Quran, prophetic traditions, and Ahlul Bayt always draw our attention to wisdoms behind every single challenge. There is no challenge without wisdom. Every challenge comes with wisdom. And that is why it's very, very important that when you go through challenge in your life, is to pause and think deeply of the wisdom behind that challenge. So to begin looking at some of the challenges that I and you may face during this lockdown, I want to say categorically, my dear brothers and my dear sisters, that let's continue sticking to the advices and the recommendations that we receive from the medical experts and from our government. It is true, but try as much as you can to avoid visiting friends or visiting families during this Eid celebration, because your health is of great importance. Without health, you cannot worship Allah properly. Without health, you cannot reach out to your family properly. So health comes first. Make sure your health is top priority. We've been doing well during the holy month of Ramadan. We were not going to our mosques. Let's stick to that, inshallah. If you have any plan of visiting someone during this celebration, try not to do it unless if your country allows that. Now, what are some of the challenges that we face or may face during this lockdown? First one is really to look at the challenges that our children may encounter or face. You know, if you look at the situation now, the whole studies, be it school or madrasa, are online. The school have given them work to do online and submit their assignments online. Our madrasas also, alhamdulillah, everything has gone online, because without doing it that way, children will miss out a lot. And to catch up after the lockdown will be cumbersome and tedious. In addition to that, our children have their own phones. They are on social media. This is good, but it comes with some challenges. One of the challenges that it may come with is mental health related issues, which really would like to draw the attention of all of us to this. Because most of the time, especially during this lockdown, you don't often meet friends physically or family members physically. I'm talking of extended families. You with your phone. So therefore, it will come with certain challenges. So my first advice to our parents is that as you continue to live with your children in the house during this lockdown, once you spot something which is not the way it's supposed to be, in terms of the behaviors of your children, in terms of the attitude of your children, try as much as you can to talk to them and call the experts, counselors, those who are in the field of mental health, to help advise them and to make things easier, because otherwise it will not be easy. Likewise, when it comes to parents or elders, we are always with our phones, we are always with our gadgets, most especially during this lockdown. What is important, my dear brother and my dear sister, if you are not to feel good, feeling some body ache or headache, or not being moody, you know, all those signs of depression or signs of stress, please, my dear brother and my dear sister, don't keep quiet. Pick up your phone, call your GP, or call someone whom you know is an expert when it comes to mental health, for the person to give you an advice and to help you on how to navigate through. I know very well there are those, when they go through these kind of challenges, the first point of call are us, we the scholars. We the scholars are not experts in mental health. So I will advise myself and all other scholars, when someone calls you to say, I'm having this, I'm moody, I'm not happy. Yes, you can give him some amal to do, but try as much as you can to signpost that person to go and see an expert for an expert advice to help that person go through this challenge. That's number two. Number three, challenge that may really pose or come during this lockdown is abuse. I know sometimes our communities, some, not all, don't like discussing all these issues. But this is a reality. We cannot shy away from. We cannot run away from it. There are those, even without lockdown, living in abusive relationship, either emotional abuse or physical abuse. And definitely during this lockdown, now that you see each other, now that you are together all the time, there may be some sort of abuse that is taking place. It's a challenge, but we cannot fold our arms and do nothing about it. So therefore, my advice on this will be, if you as a man or you as a woman, husband, wife, or even children, feel that you are in an abusive relationship, or no, during this lockdown, things really are not going well, emotionally drained, physically drained, don't keep quiet. Don't die in silence. Pick up your phones. Call either authorities or leadership of your communities for you to be helped when it comes to this. Although, as you know very well, that's not the topic of my discussion. From the Islamic perspective, anyone who abuses is tantamount to amal of Jahannam, as we know very well. And so abuse is also another challenge that we may face during this lockdown. And I was also reading somewhere that during this lockdown, the rate of abuse and violence within families is escalating, is growing. And so therefore, do not keep quiet. Call for help. And I'm sure you will get the necessary help. Another challenge that may arise during this lockdown is what? Picking up fault here and there. Husband may pick up faults from his wife. Wife may pick up faults from her husband. Why are you using electricity too much? Why are you using the gas too much? This may happen. No. Let's go shop together, or you go for shopping. Maybe that person is not used to going for shopping. That may also cause another challenge. Constant nagging may happen because you are all together. One person may find herself or himself preparing breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the same time. So this really can cause some challenges or bring some challenges. Another one is lack of enough funds, lack of enough money. Maybe a person is no more working because of this lockdown, and the salary may have been slashed into half or even no salary at all. Maybe depending on government social intervention or community help and support. That may also put pressure on families and put pressure on either husband or wife, who is the main breadwinner of the house. These are challenges and these are realities. And the good thing is, when it comes to challenges and tackling them, is to accept and admit that, you know what, there are challenges. Once you admit there are challenges, then it will make it easy for you to find solution to your challenges. These are some of the challenges that we may face during this lockdown. There are opportunities, and these opportunities cannot be overemphasized during this lockdown. The first opportunity that presents itself to all of us is that we have enough time for one another. Husband and our wife, they have enough time to get to know each other better and to get to understand each other. Remember, we mentioned last night, marriage is about understanding each other. Once you understand each other, the life becomes very, very easy. But if there is no understanding of one another, then the struggle continues and it becomes a mammoth task or mountain to climb. So you have enough time to know each other better. Another opportunity that presents itself to us during this lockdown is what? Is to get closer to one another. It's definitely an opportunity to get closer to one another. Because when you understand one another, that's the moment you are able to gel and get more and more closer. Another opportunity that presented itself to us during this lockdown is that we are able to pray together. Maybe we are not praying together. We may be going to the mosque, especially during this holy month of Ramadan. But I'm talking of not only Ramadan and beyond, because this lockdown is not going to end anytime soon. The restriction may be relaxed, but it will not end just now. It's an opportunity to pray together. And I know many people will come forward and say, no, Jamaat Salat. I say, no, Jamaat Salat, you can do it in your house also. Jamaat Salat starts with two people. Even if you and your wife alone, you can be the Imam and she can follow you. It's Jamaat Salat. If you have children, you be the Imam, they follow you. This is Jamaat Salah. And if there is no man in the house, a lady can lead also standing in the middle. It's also Jamaat Salah. So it's an opportunity to pray and worship together. Another opportunity that it presents us during this time that we are all together is to serve one another more. Is to reach out to one another. Is to demonstrate our love to one another. Now, these are some of the challenges and some of the opportunities. And the list can go on and go on and go on and go on. What I'm going to do, my dear brothers and sisters, is to go to Quran and the traditions of Ahlul Bayt to extract some advices from Sunnah and Quran on how to go about things when it comes to our marital relationships, most especially during this lockdown. The first thing is the ayah I quoted earlier on. Kindly pay attention. God makes it very clear, you know it. They are your garments, you are their garments. Really, as we go through this challenging time, I would like to invite one and all to let this ayah ring in our minds that my wife is my garment and I am her garment. What does it mean? I had a long discussions on this some time ago somewhere. It means a lot if you as husband and wife appreciate this ayah. Understand the role of garments in our lives. Once you know what garments constitute in your life, then it will make it easy for you to understand who your wife is and who your husband is. Write it somewhere in your house. I am your garment, you are my garment. The first thing that garment represents is what? It's Jamal, beauty. God is trying to say, your wife is your beauty and you are her beauty. This is not here saying, it's the teaching of Quran. Whatever challenge you may face, of course, unless unbearable challenge like abuse, see it as beauty. And if you see it as beauty, it will help you to find solution. And you know very well, we have tradition from prophets that when Allah blesses you with a new clothes, you should make dua to say, yeah, I thank Allah who has blessed me with a new clothes to beautify myself. That's number one. She is your beauty. You are her beauty. Don't forget that. So stop complaining. The gas is finishing. Electricity is finishing. The money is finishing. Stop complaining. See beauty in everything. Of course, we are not allowed to embezzle or to do extravagance or to waste. The second thing that clothes represent, my dear brothers and sisters, is very important, is that it is sitr. It covers us. What does it cover? It covers our faults. Now I'm wearing these clothes. Whatever is on my skin, you do not know. My family may know who are close to me. So clothes covers us. Let's try to cover one another. Unless something beyond our control. Cover her faults. Cover his faults. It's so important. Try as much as you can to see if you can solve your issues between the two of you. And if it's not possible, then give call to mediators within your communities, within your mosques, within your centers. The matrimonial committees are there who will be in a position to help and assist you navigate through. The third role that our clothes play in our life is what? Siana. It protects us from every harm or any harm. Protect your wife. Protect your husband from harm. It is your duty. It is her duty. You are married now. You are one single existence. I mentioned this several times. Yes, there are challenges during coronavirus. Yes, you are not working like before. Yes, the money is not enough. The food is getting finished. But relax. Chill. Protect her. Don't harm her with your tongue. Don't harm him with your tongue. Don't be offensive. Don't be too mean. Don't be nagging too much. Because maybe you are not used to sitting there and seeing things. Now is an opportunity to understand your family in a true sense of understanding one another. So clothes, what does it do? It protects you from every harm. Again, Allah says, they are your garment, you are their garment. Why? Because you respect your clothes or you don't respect your clothes. You respect it. Because when you wear and you go out, that is what represents you. So Allah is trying to say, respect your husband, respect your wife. Know how to talk to her, know how to talk to him. Don't just go about doing things anyhow, haphazardly. This is the calling of Allah. If you truly understand this, there will be no question of abuse, either emotionally or physically or otherwise. But if we do not understand this, that's when there are problems and there are issues in our marital relationships. And of course, when you have your clothes, you'll always take care of the clothes. When it needs to be stitched, you will try to stitch it. Likewise, Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala, during this challenging time, wants us to take care of one another. Of course, not only during these challenges, beyond that. But because I'm focusing during this challenging time, let's take care of one another. It's not easy for everyone. She may not be used to seeing you 24/7. You may not be used to seeing her 24/7. You may not be used to seeing your children throughout the day. It's been 2 months now. We are heading towards the 3rd month. Take care of one another. Reach out to one another. How is your day? How are you navigating? How are things going? Talk to each other. Communicate as they mentioned. It's so important, my dear brothers and my dear sisters. And the last point I really want to mention, when it comes to the meaning of these clothes, clothes define your personality in some cases. See yourself in your wife and see yourself in your husband. You are selves of one another, as Quran mentioned. She is yourself, you are herself. You are not doing favor to her, she's not doing favor to you. Can I tell you something, my dear brothers and sisters? As per the teachings of Quran, the relationship between husband and wife is not like the relationship between employer and employee. What's the relationship between employer and employee? It's a give and take. You work certain hours, you are paid so much. You don't work certain hours, you don't get the payment. That's the agreement, that's the contract. So the relationship between employer and employee is not emotional. It's not intimate. Yes, some employers and employees may try to have that. But really what brings you together is the service that the employer or employee gives you. Otherwise, there is no such a relationship really. It's dry. But the relationship between husband and wife is like the relationship of mother to her son. It's a human relationship. It's based on insania, humanity. There is no favor. You are not doing favor to your wife or doing favor to your husband. It's a human relationship. That's how Allah made it. And so therefore, it's very, very important to let this ayah keep ringing. I know this is not the first time you are hearing this verse. But we as scholars, we receive complaints during this lockdown. People are struggling some. But I said, no, relax. This is an opportunity to build your family. That's number one, in terms of trying to navigate through. Another way I and you can navigate through is to work towards improving the levels of love we have for one another. Know that, as you know, love, I had a lecture during this holy month of Ramadan for Stanmore, first 15 and some part of the second 15, and discussed about love. Love is existential relationship between the perfecter and the perfected. Husband, you are a perfecter and perfected at the same time. Likewise, wife. I love you because you are my perfecter and I am your perfecter. And vice versa. That's what love is all about. You know, one scholar gave a good example when it comes to love. He said to someone, can you lift your hand and raise it up? He said, yes. Then he said to him, lift. Then he lifted. He said, that's good. Then he said to him again, can you utter some words? Can you talk? He said, yes, of course I can talk. Then he said, talk, let me see. Then he talked. He said some words. He said, that's good. Then the scholar looked at the person and he said to him, do you love this girl? He mentioned a certain girl's name. The guy kept quiet. He asked him, do you love her? He kept quiet. Do you love her? He kept quiet. He was hesitant. Then the scholar said, you know what? Because love is not like that. Love is emotional relationship. It's emotional relationship. It doesn't just happen like that overnight. That's what love is all about. Even if it is arranged marriage, some spike will be there. Otherwise, if it's not there, the relationship will be dried. Obviously, the first love we need to have is the love of Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And then the love of Ahl al-Bayt alayhim as-salam. And then, of course, we come to the love of human beings. And the first line are our families. What do we have to do to take our love to the next level? These are reminders I thought I should give on this final day or night of our lecture. Number one, your body language, my dear brother and my dear sister in the house. Body language is important. You need to express your love through your body language in the house. Wake up in the morning. Let your body do the talk. We have a narration from our beloved prophet that a body language is in a position of bringing about love between two people. Wake up in the morning, you are moody, squeeze your face, you don't want to talk to anyone. I said, relax. Your body language says it all. So it's crucial we look after our body language during this challenging time. Number two is our verbal expression. Kalam al-Jadhab, they said. Try as much as you can to utter attractive sentences or statements or words. It helps a lot to bring about love. No, sorry, my wife. We will go through this together. Sorry, my husband. I know it's not easy for you, my husband. I know the salary is not enough. My wife, I know children are doing this. I need to help you. Let's do this. You know, talk nicely to one another. Encourage one another. It's so important. And of course, as you do this, sometimes you have to give each other some spaces also. Although you are living together, but give each other some spaces. But you know, let those beautiful words stream from your heart and flow on your tongue to the ears of your partner, either your wife or your husband or even your children. Because if you fight, it will affect your children. If you are unable to control your tongue because of the stress you are going through, it will affect you. That is why I said earlier on, if you know you are going through certain stress, either occupational stress or financial stress or lockdown stress, reach out to those who are experts in mental health field to help you navigate through. Don't stay there and keep quiet. It will destroy you. It will destroy your family. It will make life difficult and cumbersome for you. And as we all know, mental health is a reality. It's not a myth. And it's like any other health related matters. Like physical health. Mental health is not about being crazy, na'udhu billah. And so therefore, kalamun jadhab. You have to always utter attractive words. And you know one another. If a person is not in his day or in good mood, give each other space, as I mentioned earlier on. Another thing that you can do really to increase the love, surprise gifts, as Prophet mentioned. But now during this lockdown, one may not be able to go out. Gift. You can Amazon if you can. Eid is coming now. Gift to one another. That will make the love take itself to the next level. And then the last practical step on taking the love to the next level is try as much as you can, irrespective of how the situation might be, to portray good akhlaq. Show good akhlaq. Whether you are at fault or you are not, try as much as you can to portray good akhlaq. You know, Quran mentioned, وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ ادْفَعْ بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ فإذا الذي بينك وبينه عداوة كأنه ولي حميم وما يلقاها إلا الذين صبروا وما يلقاها إلا ذو حظ عظيم. الله أكبر. Allah says, good and evil will never be the same. So if you are disrespected, don't retaliate. When you are pushed too much, don't retaliate. Respond in a different way. وَلَا تَسْتَوِي الْحَسَنَةُ وَلَا السَّيِّئَةُ. Allah says, ادفع بالتي هي أحسن. Pay back with what is the best. You don't pay evil with evil. You pay evilness with goodness and kindness. It's not tit for tat, especially when it comes to marital relationship. I know it's easier said than done, but let's try as much as you can, especially during this challenging time. Otherwise, it will affect everyone in the family. And by the time we come out of this lockdown, we will see the damage of it. But as I said earlier on, there's beauty in it. See the beauty and benefit from that beauty. Allah says, وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا الَّذِينَ صَبَرُوا وَمَا يُلَقَّاهَا إِلَّا ذُو حَظٍّ عَظِيمٍ. No one will pay evilness with the best except those who are of great success in the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So show good akhlaq. It will help you. It will build you. Your children will learn from it. And the last area, if you truly want to navigate through this challenging time, is empathy with one another. We need to empathize with each other. You know the situation of your house. But in most cases, our communities, women are those who cook. In most cases. But slowly but surely, it's changing, which is good. That we see some men also helping. What I'm trying to say is that empathize with them. It's not easy. It's challenging. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Because you can't always go take away. There's not enough money. We are in the lockdown, except few who are fortunate. So if one person cooks 3-course meal, it's not easy. So we need to empathize. It's very important. Likewise, let's empathize with the main breadwinner of the family. He may not have enough now. Hence, he will complain. The salt is finished. I'm just giving an example. The gas is finishing. Why too much of this is being used? Let's empathize with one another. Because we do not know what is going in the minds of those people or that person. And this is what Quran really mentioned in chapter 2. جَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. Allah put between husband and wife love and compassion. Empathy is a wing or dimension of compassion. We need to empathize with one another. Always, but most especially during this challenging time. It's not easy for everyone, neither for children nor for the parents. How do we grow compassion within our families? Number one, التغافل والتسامح. Compromise. A let go spirit. Compromise. It's not easy for everyone. He's not doing it the way you expect. Compromise. She's not doing the way you expect. Compromise. It's not easy. It's draining. Compromise. You know, philosophers mentioned, I mentioned this in one of my lectures also. الزواج مكيال. Said marriage is like a measurement. 1/3 of it is wittiness and smartness. And the 2/3 of it is compromise. You need to be smart, because the most difficult creature to deal with is insan. Insan is very difficult. You'll never finish learning about insan until you are buried. So 1/3 of marriage is wisdom, fitna, with pay. You need to be smart. And the 2/3 is compromise. Nobody will get it 100%, but you can make it 100% for yourself. You will not get that malaika, woman or malaika man, but you can make it better than malaika for you. So it needs smartness and it needs compromise. That's number one. If you truly want to bring compassion, and empathy. Number two, you truly want to bring compassion and empathy? Serve one another. I mentioned it before, but here I want to stop a little bit. Serve. Khidmat. Do khidmat. Wife, serve your husband. You've been doing it. Husband, serve your wife. That's why here, in Birmingham, our Jamaat, we've got our matrimonial committee. We call it Me to We. Serve one another. You know what Prophet mentioned? If a woman takes a glass of water from one corner of the house to the other corner to give to her husband, 8 doors of heaven will be open for her. And Allah will ask her to choose which gate or entrance you want to enter heaven through. Likewise, we have traditions when it comes to men, that the Holy Prophet and Ahl al-Bayt, khidmatuka zawjatika sadaqa. Your khidmat, your service to your wife is a charity. Giving her a cup of tea is a charity. Helping her to cook is a charity. But some don't like say helping her, because they'll say it's not a primary responsibility, which is true. Which is true, I agree. You say help sometimes might not help. Hold each other's hand and build that family. Help him in his job, in his work also. So you have traditions that invite both to serve one another. You want to see compassion? Do something in the house that will help build the family. Clean. Husband. Wife, clean. Do it together. The third practical step, if you truly want to bring compassion in the family, especially during this challenging time, it's respect. I mentioned it earlier on. Mutual respect. Rasulullah said, "Man ittakhadha imra'atan falyukrimha." Whoever takes a wife, he must or should respect her. Respect is crucial. Don't talk anyhow. Don't ridicule. Your wife is not your servant. You are not a servant. You are one single existence to build civilization. And you know very well, my dear brothers and sisters, there were discussions as to what constitutes a successful marriage. 3 opinions came out. Third opinion, of course, is Islamic opinion, which we learn from Fatima Zahra alayha salam. First opinion is that a marriage is a successful marriage when 2 elements are met. This first opinion. What are the 2 elements? Said, when I'm pleased with her and I trust her. When I'm pleased with him and I trust him. So happiness and trust, when they are found in a marriage, that marriage is a successful marriage. That's according to some opinion, which is good. Because you see, sometimes you are pleased with your wife when you are with her, but you don't trust her. And sometimes you are pleased with your husband, you are happy when you are with him, but you don't trust him. So they said there must be trust and happiness. When the 2 are there, then you are successful. That's first opinion. Definitely all these 2 must be there according to Islam, but that's not the only aim. Second opinion said no. Successful marriage is when they are able to naturally satisfy one another. When you take care of her natural need and she's happy with that, and vice versa, they said that constitutes a successful marriage. Third one is what we get from Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam. What constitutes a successful marriage? Is to build a society, to build a civilization. It's for you and your wife to become model for others to look up to and aspiring to get married. It's for your children to become patterns for people to aspire to have children. It's for you and your family to become productive citizens. That is what marriage is all about. Sometimes you may not have children in the marriage, as Quran made it very clear. But still it's marriage. Marital relationship begin with husband and wife, and then of course children. Fatima Zahra alayhi salam taught us what constitutes a successful marriage is to produce the community with productive personalities. Fatima alayhi salam contributed to the community who? Hassan, Hussein, Zainab, Kulthum. High-level productive personalities. You and your husband, once you become productive to the ummah, to the nation, then that is a sign of a successful marriage. And so therefore, if you truly want to see compassion and empathy and sympathy, if you like, respect one another. And you know very well the distinction between respect and tolerance. Some tolerate, which is not good. It's okay. Take it to the next level. Respect. Tolerance means what? I don't have a choice. I'm obliged. I'm forced. But respect what? You are free. No chest pain. Tolerance comes with chest pain. Don't tolerate your wife. Don't tolerate your husband. Respect one another. Even during this lockdown. But I said, if the situation is beyond you, reach out to your communities. Reach out to counselors. Reach out to mediators. And if the situation is abusive situation, reach out to the authorities. Don't keep quiet and don't shy away. So there are helps out there, either within your Muslim communities or wider society. Seek help if you truly need it to perfect your relationship. But be careful not to just always jump into telling people your story when some of the things are very trivial and insignificant. And so therefore, my beloved brothers and sisters, mu'mineen and mu'minat, the lockdown presents us with opportunities to build our capacities as married couples or as families. We do not have a backbone that can be compared to our families. Our families are our backbones. We cannot do without our families. Take these opportunities to build your family. Go through the challenges and build it. Believe me or not, my dear brother and my dear sister, you are capable of doing so. What is dangerous is that you do tarakum salbiyat. You compile faults. You take in the boss. She's done this wrong. She's done this wrong. She's done this wrong. She's done this wrong. He has done this wrong. You have a notebook. You wrote all. You're going to explode one day doing that. And that will not only destroy the family, it will destroy children. Grave issues, address them. If you can. If you cannot, seek help to address them. I mentioned many times. But try as much as you can to compromise and let go if they are insignificant or trivial matters. So tarakum salbiyat, piling up faults, wrongs, waiting for one day to crash him or crash her or explode will destroy your family. Believe me or not. And not only that, my dear brothers and my dear sisters, unnecessary jealousy can also destroy our families and relationships. She's calling someone, you are doubting. She's messaging someone, you are doubting. He is doing the same, you are doubting. He leaves his phone, you hide, you check. She leaves her phone, she hide, she check. Yes, don't give your husband or wife excuse to be checking you. Definitely don't give them that excuse. But following them too much is not good, or following each other too much. Build the trust, and Allah will help you. And so therefore, mu'mineen and mu'minat, as we prepare ourselves to celebrate Eid al-Fitr, let us remember that we do have responsibilities towards building our families. We cannot run away from working towards making our families perfect structures, irrespective of the challenges that we go through. We should not forget to remember we can only do it perfectly through divine intervention. Don't forget to ask Allah, Tabarak wa Ta'ala, to help you when it comes to your marital relationship. Prophet Ibrahim taught us, رَبِّ جَعَلْنِي مُقِيمَ الصَّلَاةِ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِي رَبَّنَا وَتَقَبَّلْ دُعَاء. Allah, make me amongst those who establish their salah and my family. And Allah said in Surah Al-Luqman beautifully, وَأْمُرْ أَهْلَكَ بِالصَّلَاةِ وَاسْتَبِرْ عَلَيْهَا كَانَ يَأْمُرُ أَهْلَهُ بِالصَّلَاةِ. He would advise his family to pray, to do salah. And the Quran says, advise one another to do salah, to pray, to do dua. Husband, advise your wife. Wife, advise your husband. Advise your children. That is seeking divine intervention to make your marital relationship the best and a model. Eid Mubarak to each and every one of you. Eid has great significance. The word Eid is from the word Aud or Aud, meaning return. It symbolizes three things. Number one, return of what? Return of the day of Eid to us. Because it returns every year. So it is called Eid. Number two, it is the returns of Allah's blessings to us. الذي جعلته للمسلمين عيدا, in the kunut of it. So Allah's blessings and unlimited maghfirah and Allah's reward are returning to us on the day of Eid. That's why it is called Eid. The third level of Eid is what? Is the return of our favor to one another. It is a day for me to show love to you and vice versa. It is a day to give you gifts and for me to receive gift from you. So it is called Eid because people's favor towards one another return. الذي جعلته للمسلمين عيدا ولمحمد صلى الله عليه وآله ظهرا وشرفا وكرامة ومزيدا. This day is a Eid for Muslim Ummah. Not only that, it is for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi. What? Karamatan wa mazida. It is a day of honor and a high level of honor for Prophet alayhi salam and Ahl Bayt al-Isma wa Taha. Amir al-Mu'mineen alayhi salam said, Huwa Eidun liman qabila Allahu siyamahu wa shakara qiyamah. It is a Eid for those whose fasts and night vigil were accepted in the holy month of Ramadan. We are all accepted by Allah, my dear brothers and my dear sisters. Don't doubt, no shak, no shak. Don't doubt, we are all accepted by Allah. Just be determined to continue or to maintain some of the spirit of the holy month of Ramadan after the holy month. That is the only thing needed from you. If you are determined, be rest assured, you are accepted by Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. It is a day of Jawaiz, where during the Salat of Eid, Allah will give us the reward of our fasts. So it is your moment of graduation. It is my moment of graduation. We are graduating at the Salat of Eid. Yes, this year we will not be having Salat al-Eid congregationally at our centers, at our mosques, but you can do it in your house. Do it alone if there is no one. Do it with your family. Our mosques, alhamdulillah, they will be virtually broadcasting Eid. So therefore, this will be done, inshallah. But it's a day of blessing. It's a day of jashan, shadi, happiness. So relax, take care of yourself, and enjoy the Eid with your family. Spend the quality time with your family. And last but not least, as we celebrate our Eid, we should not forget Prophet Muhammad, Imam al-Hussein, and Imam al-Zaman, of course, Ahl al-Bayt. That's why we mention Prophet Muhammad in the Qunut of Eid, because he brought this message to us. We are indebted to him. Why do we mention Ziyarah of Aba Abdullah on the day of Eid? Because we know Aba Abdullah gave life to the mission of Prophet Muhammad. So ziyarah of Aba Abdullah is highly recommended on the day of Eid. And lastly, why do we do dua on Nudba? Because we know very well the mission of prophets of God and the missions of Ahl al-Bayt will never and ever be fully realized without the movement of social justice that will be established by Imam al-Zaman. Hence, we do dua in Nudba. I wish you all the best of luck. And I take this opportunity to first and foremost thank Almighty Allah for giving me the opportunity to share few things that I studied from the institution of Imam Jafar Sadiq with my brothers and sisters in Australia. And secondly, to thank Haji Abbas Ali for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to give lectures. And of course, to thank each and every one of you, members of Imam Hassan Center, Sydney, for the opportunities and the audience you gave me. Forgive me for any shortcomings. I'm a human being. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Sheikh. Sheikh, thank you very, very much. On behalf of the committee at Imam Hassan Center, we are very grateful that you've been waking up. I know it's an early start for you there in England to do these lectures, and I know you are doing a few lectures, not just the one lecture in the day. So I know it's difficult, and your fasts are very long. May Allah accept every effort for you, and especially your wife for putting up with you as well, Sheikh.
Absolutely, it's not easy. Very difficult. Alhamdulillah, Allah is great.
Alhamdulillah, our families play a big part in supporting the work that we do. Without them, we are not able to do anything at all. So to all the mothers, wives, sisters, and everyone out there, inshallah, may Allah bless you all. To everyone who's listening, inshallah, Eid Mubarak to you all, and inshallah, 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, Monday, the 25th of May in Sydney, we will be broadcasting the namaz here as well. Of course, you can't pray Jama'ah, but we've got on our website all the details on how to pray your namaz. Inshallah, you'll be able to follow as well. Sheikh, they say that, when you make a wish in Ramadan, it has to come true. So, inshallah, I'm hoping that we will see you in Australia, as we missed out on you this time.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Ajabas. It will be my pleasure, inshallah.
Inshallah. And hopefully, and maybe we'll see you again on some more virtual lectures over the next few months. As we do that.
It will be my pleasure, inshallah. Thank you so much, Ajabas.
Eid Mubarak to you, your family, and all the community there. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah khair, inshallah. Thank you.
Thank you. And Assalamu alaikum, everyone.
Asad.